Hey, what's happening? It's Nick from Lone Star Boot Reviews, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Cody James Zero Gravity Western Boot. Hey, so just a reminder that if you like this video and want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe and click that little bell so you know every time I upload a video. Now, Cody James boots are made by Durango, and it's a brand that's carried exclusively at Boot Barn, although Boot Barn owns the Sheplers website, so you can also buy them there. I've never owned a pair of Cody James, so I'm pretty interested to see, how they stack up against other boots. So if you own a pair of Cody James boots, go ahead and leave me a comment down below and tell me how your experience has been with them. Now, since Cody James is a house brand of Boot Barn, and they're also pretty inexpensive compared to other brands, that would lead me to believe that the quality doesn't quite stack up, against other name brands that are out there. But like I said, I haven't ever owned any, so what do you say we take a look at these boots? Now, I haven't even peeked inside the box yet, so you guys are coming along with me for the first look. Well, first thing, I'm a little disappointed because there is no leather smell whatsoever. It doesn't smell bad, but there's really just no smell to them. So I've experienced boots with the intoxicating leather smell, and I've experienced boots with horrible smells. This is my first one that has zero smell. So I guess they probably should have named it the Zero Smell instead of the Zero Gravity. Okay, so the leather reminds me of an Ariat. It's thick and a little bit stiff, but it's by no means the stiffest boot I've ever felt, and it actually feels like a pretty decent leather. The boot top is really stiff, so that could be good and bad. I mean, it's good because it'll hold its shape, but might not be the most comfortable around your leg. We'll have to see. I do like the stitching on this. I like the colors and the design. That looks really nice. So it doesn't have pull tabs, it's got the holes. And I typically prefer the pull tabs simply, from an aesthetic standpoint, but these don't look bad. I actually like the look of this boot. So the sole is very reminiscent of an Ariat. It feels like the exact same type of material. It's a wide square toe. One difference though, most Ariats cannot be resoled because they're glued on with a certain kind of cement that's really hard to get off. This one is actually a double stitch welt, and it goes all the way through. So I do believe this could be resoled. One thing I noticed is a little bit different about this boot. The stitching is like a tan color instead of a bright white. So some of y'all may like that because it doesn't stand out quite as much. I like the look. I like a lot of the ones with the white stitching as well. But, as an alternative and just something a little different, I kind of like that. At first glance, I thought this was a stacked leather heel and I got kind of excited. But when I look at it, I think it's a composite that has just got a grain kind of painted on there to look like a leather heel. But truthfully, I like this look better than how most Ariats are, where it's just rubber the whole way. It's got one little blemish right here, if you can see that. I mean, it's nothing bad, and probably a little boot oil or some Scout conditioner or Bic 4 would probably cover that up, no problem. Right here on the counter, it's got a few spots that are a little bit darker, but that doesn't bother me at all, and especially for the price I paid. It's leather lined, or it could possibly be pigskin, but it feels pretty nice either way. It does have a tag in here, if you can see that, and it's made in China. So again, very reminiscent of an Ariat. It has the exposed seams, and they're a little rough. They stick out quite a bit, so I'm interested to see how that feels up against my leg. It's got a removable insole, it looks like. So it looks like a pretty nice insole. The top feels good, and I kind of like it. The heel is not quite as thick as an Ariat. So I feel like maybe my foot will sit down in the heel a little better. It's got good padding. It has these two spots on here that I thought when I looked at it were gel, but it's not. I think it's just foam and they just put that on there to look like gel. It's still a pretty comfortable feeling insole, and I think this is memory foam. If you see when I press, my fingerprints kind of bounce back. That's pretty cool. I haven't felt a memory foam insole in a Cowboy boot before, so I'm interested to try that out. So what do you say we try them on? Okay, so first thing, I bought a 12D in these just because in my experience, some less expensive boots have run a little bit smaller, but they are slightly big. So I think I would be comfortable in an 11.5, if not an 11. I'm thinking probably an 11.5. So keep that in mind if you're interested and you want to take a look at these. But guys, these are really comfortable. I mean, I'm surprised. The insole feels really nice. They're a little stiff, but nothing extreme. I mean, I think in a week or so, these would be feeling really good. There's plenty of cushion, but not so much that it feels too squishy. I mean, they feel really nice. I think as, you know, an everyday around the town boot or, you know, a work boot, I think this would be a great choice, and especially for the price I paid. I still think it's very reminiscent of an Ariat, not just with the style, but the way it feels. So I'm pretty impressed, I gotta say. And I think it looks good too. I mean, it's a little clunky looking, but part of that is because it's, you know, a half size or a full size too big for me. But I still think it's a nice looking boot, and I really like that stitching being a tan color. It's different and it's a nice look. I don't know, what do you guys think? You like the way it looks? Let's go back up on top. Okay, so final thoughts. I like this boot, guys. I think it's a great looking boot. The leather feels pretty good quality. It feels nice and durable. I like the shaft stitching. I love the stitching on the sole. I just love the way that tan looks. I like the heel on it, the way it looks. It was really comfortable. I think this is a great option as somebody's first boot, or if you want something to kick around in and work in and not really worry about. So for what it is, it gets the Lone Star stamp of approval. So if you're clicking around on the internet or you find yourself at a boot barn, I would suggest going and looking at the Cody James. I'm really surprised at how much I like this boot. So if you're looking for something a little less expensive that you don't have to worry about too much, this boot is perfect. So that's what I have for today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And a big thank you for all of you who have subscribed and for everybody who's tuning into this video. I'll see y'all on the next one. Take it easy.